Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we build a basic HTTP server with Go or Golang, okay? We are following up on our last video where we saw how we could get started writing Go code, okay? In today's video, we take this one step further to build a basic HTTP server with Go. If you think that's a great idea, please leave this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can get access to all of our videos in the future as they drop. So the first things first that we are going to do is to open up a new terminal and navigate to the desktop /projects /backend. So this folder is where we are going to create a new folder named Go API, okay? And then I'm going to cd into that folder and run go mod init go_API. So when Go is done creating that mod file, I'm going to run code dot to open up this project in VS Code. Then I'm going to run go get-new github.com/gorilla/mux. What this does is to install the Gorilla Mux HTTP for us as a dependency. It's inside of this our Go program, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and create an index.go file. And inside this index.go file, I'm going to add a packaging name at the top, and then I'll import github.com/gorilla/mux. Then I'm going to add a main function as it's required for all Go programs. I also import net/HTTP inside of this file, and inside of the main function, we are going to create a new variable r, which is equal to the result of calling mux.newRouter, and this creates a router for us, okay? Next, we are going to call http.handle to register that router onto our server, okay? When we are done registering the router onto the server, the next thing we do is to call http.listen and serve on port 8080. I'm going to wrap this http.listen and serve with a call to log.filter just to notify us if there are any errors, okay? And above this log.filter http.listen and serve, I'm going to call log.print server is running on port 8080 just to notify us that our server is up and running, okay? Now I'm going to run go run index.go from the terminal to start up this server. And you can see that we get a message in our console saying server started on port 8080. Next, I'm going to copy and paste a folder into our current working directory, and let me quickly walk you through that folder. So inside this folder we have copied and pasted, you can see that there's a file named item.go, and this file declares a package item. Next, we import fmt from the Go standard library. Then we have defined a struct item which has an ID property, a name property, and a price property. Next, we define a function getAllItems which returns an array of items. And inside this function, we create a slice that contains 3 items which we return from the function. Under that, we have another function, findItem_by_id, which accepts 2 arguments. The first is an array of items, while the second is an integer. We loop over the array of items until we find the item whose ID matches the integer we passed in as the second argument to this function, okay? And if there are no items, we just return an empty object and a string, item not found. So what I'm going to do is to create a new folder named controller, and inside of it, we are going to declare a new package named controller. Then we import encoding/JSON. We are also going to import go_API/products. That is the package we created locally. And then we are going to import net/HTTP into this file. I will declare a function getAllProducts, which returns a HTTP handler function. And inside it, I'm going to call JSON.newEncoder and passing in W, which is the response. Then we are going to encode the result of calling products.getAllItems. Remember, product.getAllItems returns an array of items, okay? So now we have done that, we are going to go ahead and navigate back to the index.go file and register the getAllProducts function on the router, okay? We are going to register this getAllProducts function to the /route and ensure that it is a get request. Then we are going to run go run index.go from the terminal to get our server up and running. With the server up and running, we are going to test this app by creating a HTTP file to use with our REST clients that I've installed with my VS Code, okay? And you can see that we get back an array of products inside of our results tab. Actually, we have 3 products, okay? So I'll go back to the index.go file and change the route of fetching all of the products from / to /products. I'm going to restart this server. I can see that we get back an array of products. Now, let's try to see if you can fetch one item from the array. I'm going to declare a new function, get products by ID. This function also returns a handler function. Ignore the ID argument we are accepting into this function for now. We don't need it, and I'm actually going to get rid of it later, okay? I'm going to pass the ID params from the request route, and I'm going to use it to find an item inside the items array. If there are any errors, such as item not found, we are going to send back a 404 response to the client, that is item not found. Otherwise, we are going to call JSON.new encoder, pass in W to it. Then we are going to encode the product, that is send back the product as JSON with the response, okay? Now, we have an error on products.find item by ID. That is because of, one, we have not passed in the array of items we need to look through. And secondly, we need to convert this ID variable from a string to a number, because since it is passed on a wrap params, it's going to be treated like a string. So we need to convert it into a number. So to do that, we are going to call string convert.a to I on the string. And this converts this string to a number. So this function returns a number or an error. So we are going to handle that error. So if there are any errors while doing this conversion, we are going to send the user a 400 bad request response, right? Otherwise, you are going to call products.get all items. That is to get us the array of items we want to look through, and then we are going to pass in that number we have converted from a string to a number, okay, as a second argument to the function to complete it. So we are going to attach this get product by ID function to a /product/ID route and ensure that it is a get request, okay? So let's go ahead and test this out by spinning up the server and using the HTTP client to make a get request to HTTP localhost 8080/product/1. I can see that we get back the first item, and if I change this from 1 to 2, you see that we also get back the second item, and so on and so forth until I change this ID to 4, and then you can see that we get back an error 404 not found, okay? So we can certainly build up upon this to add more things like updating the product or deleting the product. But for that to work, we need a database, okay? And that is going to be the focus of our next video. So if you found this video useful, please give it a like. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can get access to all of our videos in the future as they drop. And I'm going to see you in the next one.